You are going to be creating a character web using Poplet. When you get onto your computers with your group, you're going to log on to poplet.com, see the login information to log in on the whiteboard. Once you get there, you're going to click on Make New Poplet, and you're going to name your Poplet. It can be whatever book you have read, whatever book you read with your book club group, and that's what you're going to title your Poplet. So it's going to be the name of the book that you read. And then you just click on Make It So. And then you'll see right up there, there's your title of your Poplet. Now, to create a new bubble, you double click and you get your Poplet. You can move it around. You can change the color. In this first bubble, you're going to put the title of the book and then all of the group members. Then, each time you're ready to add a new character, you're just going to click off to the side, and you can drag that out a little bit so you have more room. So let's think about a book that we read together as a class. If we go back to our 39 Clues book, and we think of the characters that we have in there. So we've got, let's start with Amy and Dan Cahill. And off of Amy and Dan, maybe we want to do Grace Cahill. And maybe off of Grace we want to do the reading of the will that starts the challenge. And on Grace, maybe we want to put that Grace was a millionaire. Oops, sorry. I'm going to leave all these pink because they're going off of Amy and Dan. And Grace traveled the world and was a cartographer, meaning she made maps. Then we've got Amy and Dan, and off of Amy and Dan, let's put their babysitter, Nellie. Nellie the au pair, so they don't like to call her a babysitter. And we could put that Nellie is, let's see, Nellie was, let's do it this way. Nellie speaks both French and Spanish. Her mother was French and father was Spanish. That's a pretty interesting fact. So I'm gonna, whoops, that's not what I want to do. Let's see. Delete that one. Yes. Okay, I'm going to go back to this one, and I just want to change the size of this one. There we go. And I'm maybe going to move this one over here instead, just because I want a little bit more room off of Amy and Dan. And then I'm going to drag one way up here, and we've got parents were killed when Amy and Dan were younger. Okay, and let's see, we'll put that they were raised by their aunt. Now I can't think of what their aunt's name was, but we'll just leave it at that one for now. So they're raised by their aunt, and we want to also add on here that Amy and Dan take the Cahill challenge. That's the big part of that book. Alright, then I'm going to move over here. Now, Amy and Dan are obviously my main characters. I'm probably going to have the most bubbles going off of them, and obviously you can see that I can continue to add little poplets wherever I need to, and I can move these around if I wanted, you know, a little bit more space here. I can move these down a little bit. So then I'm going to add another member. Change that color. Alright. Then we've got Irina Spassky. And we know that Irina was a Russian spy. Oops. During the Cold War. And let's make Irina green. So then anything that I added about Irina, I would have green. And then we've got Uncle Alistair. And he is the oldest one to take the challenge. And we've got that Uncle Alistair is Korean. A little bit smaller maybe. Oh, maybe. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to make Uncle Alistair's bubbles blue. So I'm just going to go through and change all of his colors to blue. Okay. So once I have all the characters in the book in, I also want to have some information about the events that happen in the book. So, for example, I might, off of Amy and Dan's, go down here and put, let's see, let's do it this way. Okay, so we've got that Amy and Dan take the challenge, so we're going to go off of that and say they find the first major clue, but lose, but have an ingredient stolen by Ian Cabra. Okay, so you're going to continue with your poplet, adding characters, adding details about those characters as you go. The poplets save automatically, so whenever you're done, you just go back to home and your poplet will be right there. And anytime you go back in, then you can click right on it and pick up right where you left off. And that is how you create your poplet.